So I watched that movie, The Gorge, a movie that's streaming on Apple Plus. This movie wasn't on my radar, and then I heard a lot of good things about it, so I figured I'll check it out. And when I saw the positives, I think Miles Taylor and Ella Taylor-Joy, I think they're great in this movie, and I've always found them to be great actors. I think overall they give very solid performances in this movie. Another positive thing about this movie, and this is the biggest positive about this movie, is that I really enjoyed the first half of this movie, where you have these two characters that are that are elite snipers. You get ordered to gauze a deep gauze, where Sony Weaver, who plays the character in this movie, hires Miles Taylor to guard one of the two posts, and then Ella Taylor Joy is guarding the other post. So they're on opposite sides of each other, and they can only communicate by putting up cards and like writing stuff on board. And even though they don't get a lot of scenes together at the beginning, I actually really was into the romance element of this movie. Like, this is the biggest element of this movie. Like, this movie does try to blend genres, where it tries to be a little bit of a conspiracy, political thriller, sci-fi, an action movie, a crucifixus. So it does try to blend different genres, and I think it does a decent job for the most part. But the romance is the biggest element, and that was the element where I was really into. Like, the first half of the movie, I'm like, even though you don't get a lot of scenes of them together, I really bought into the romance, where I wanted these two characters to be together at the end. And when they actually do come together, when he goes over to her side after they've been communicating between each other, I really buy the chemistry between them. So to me, I was really actually enjoying the first half, the romance element of the movie. Now, the negatives with this movie, I do think the second half is less interesting. It's not bad. Like, I think to me, when it becomes the crucifixus sci-fi action movie, and you find out the reviewers' conspiracies of why Miles Taylor's character and Aaron Taylor Joy were posted there, it's pretty typical stuff you've seen in other conspiracy political thrillers before. And even a sci-fi, like horror or crucifixus, is stuff I've seen in other movies before. So the second half, to me, this becomes predictable and less interesting. Not bad. Like, I don't think the second half of the movie is bad. And the reveals, I think I was just kind of like, okay, that's fine. I've seen those type of reveals in other movies before. So it just does. The second half, I feel like this becomes kind of a little generic, where it's just stuff you've seen in other crucifixus or conspiracy thriller, political thrillers before. So it doesn't really do anything particularly new. I feel like the first half of the movie just stood out more, where I was like really into the story more. And the second half, I was just kind of like, okay, that's fine, not bad, just kind of like, oh, that's fine. And I think Sylvie Weaver, who I think is a great actress, her character is just not given a whole lot of depth. Where I feel like this is the type of character you've seen in other movies before. Like, they don't really give her a whole lot to work with. And the character is not very interesting. She kind of plays like a generic type character to me, where I've seen this type of character in other movies before. So I do feel like she's wasted in this movie, where you could have hired anybody to play this role, and it wouldn't really it like it wouldn't change anything. Like, I think, like, to me, if you hired another actress to play Song Liu's character in this movie, it it wouldn't change the character or make the character interesting. I just feel like there's not a whole lot with the character she's playing in this movie. Besides the fact it's Song Weaver, who I love, but outside of that, it's like the character is pretty thin and not really interesting. And when it comes to Miles Taylor and Aaron Taylor Joy, even though I did like the characters, I thought they had great chemistry, and I was rooting for them to end up together at the end. I do wish he got more individually with them as characters, because like Aaron Taylor Joy plays more of a fun character. They're both sniper elites, and Miles Taylor kind of plays more of a stoic type character. But I feel like I wanted to know more about them individually. Like, I like the characters, but I wanted to know more about them individually, especially Miles Taylor, because he plays a very stoic type character. And I just feel like you don't get to really know them too much individually. Like, Aaron Taylor Joy, like, she has a very fun personality, but also kind of like, why does she have such a fun personality when she's like a sniper elite? Like, I just felt like there was, and you see like Miles Taylor's character, where they both have dreams and how it's getting to them. because they've done it for so long when it comes to killing people, and I just felt like I wanted to know more about them individually, and I feel like you don't get to really know them individually as well as I wanted to. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. Oh, and I will say another positive is that I do like the creature designs in the movie when you see them in the gores and when you go down there. I do like the look of the creases. I think they do look cool and look interesting. But overall, this is one of those movies where I was like, I really enjoyed the first half. I think Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy give solid performances, but I did like the characters, but I wanted to know more about the characters. And I think his second half becomes just a little predictable and just very, stuff I've seen before in other type of movies that the genres that it's trying to blend. And even though I think he does a decent job of blending all these different type of genres, I don't feel like you get enough of the political conspiracy thriller stuff enough. And I just feel like overall the second half is just very predictable and just kind of like been there, done that in other movies I've seen before. But I would recommend check out The Gores. Like, it's an enjoyable movie. It's not going to be one of my favorites of the year or anything like that, but I would say this is one of the better streaming movies I've seen. So I would say check it out. Until next time, movie fans.